Right before we jump into this preview of the Canon 70D, if you haven't signed up for the Froknows Photo email list, you can do so over at froknowsphoto.com. Just look for the orange box, and when you sign up, I will send you a free guide to capturing motion in low light situations for free. All right, let's get to the preview. Jared Polin, froknowsphoto.com, and this is a preview of the Canon 70D. And no, this is not it, but this is the Canon 1DX that Canon sent me to play with, and I've been learning the Canon systems for the past month or two, trying to familiarize myself with them because I want to be a well-rounded photographer and know both systems, that the Nikons and the Canons, and obviously whatever else is out there, I want to learn them as well. But let's look at the Canon 70D, which is a direct replacement for the 60D. It has a 20.2 megapixel, as they're calling it, a dual pixel CMOS AF sensor. So what does that mean? Well, I'm not a scientist, and it's very, very technical, and you can read the full information on what this new type of sensor means. But what it means for live view, when you're in live view or you're recording video, is it's giving you almost camcorder-like autofocus. This is the first time that something has said that it's going to track your image like it was a camcorder, because camcorders do a great job with autofocus, and we haven't seen this yet in digital SLRs, where that they follow focus without you having to do very much. That is a step in the right direction. Now, I like to think that these DX cameras, or these AFC cameras, are the proving grounds for new technology. This is something new from Canon. They're trying this out to see if it works, and if it works in this type of camera, I think that you may see it in the pro bodies coming along. So let's move along. ISO 100 to 12,800 with the high of 25,600 in the non-recommended areas. 7 frames a second. Yep, that's pretty darn quick, 7 frames a second, and you can do 16 frames raw in a row. Now, the Nikon opposite of that, the Nikon D7100, can only do 6 frames before it outruns the buffer. Now, I think Canon wins on the buffer end because they do better video, and because they do video very well, I think that helps the buffering on the other side. It has a Digix 5 processor that's for doing all the different noise reductions and JPEG conversions and whatever else you're doing in the camera. It does 1080p at 30 frames a second. It has a stereo microphone built in. It also has a microphone input, just like a lot of the cameras have today, so that you can use an external microphone like a Rode microphone or the Smart Lav or the Sonys that I'm using right now. It has 19-point AF, and all the points, all 19 of them, are cross-type sensors. Cross-type is really important because it helps you with your autofocus, because it's reading from the verticals, it's reading from the horizontals, and that is what you're looking for. From what I've read, it's the same focusing system as what's in the 7D. So I think that this camera pretty much replaces the 7D, even though it's not 8 frames a second like the 7D was. The 7D at this point is probably waiting to get replaced, and who knows what the number system is going to be. They need to come up with some whole new lines of systems because their numbers are all over the place. The 5D is better than the 6D, the 6D is maybe better than the 70D. Oh, just too many numbers. What is interesting is that it has a 98% viewfinder instead of 100% like the 6DD had and like the Nikon D7100 has. It has only 98%. But maybe that's because it has Wi-Fi built in. Maybe they needed to find some places to put that Wi-Fi, and they had to sacrifice a viewfinder for that. Now, 98% coverage is not terrible, but what that means is when you're looking through the viewfinder, you're not going to see everything that's going to be in the image. So what I used to do is you would touch somebody's top of the head to the top of the viewfinder, and then you knew that you had a little bit of extra space to spare when you got the image back, when you got the results. It has a rotating 3-inch touchscreen. I actually really like the touchscreen that they have. The touchscreen works very well in the T4i and the T5i. It's multi-touch. I was surprised at how much I liked it, and it just works. It's like using an iPhone or any other touch device. It works very, very well, and I was very happy with the screen that they used. It only has 1 SD card slot, where the Nikons, on the other hand, have 2. Is this a deal breaker? Not really. It's not hard to switch cards, but what I do like 2 cards for is to have that redundancy, to have the same raw file written to card 1 as is written to card 2. So it would be nice to see that. It would have been nice for them to have put that in, but it's not a deal breaker. Built-in Wi-Fi, like I said, and it has a flash, whereas the Canon 6D didn't have a flash because of the Wi-Fi. The 70D now has a flash and Wi-Fi built in, all for $11.99. That's a great price. And compared to the D7100, I would venture to say that the Canon is going to do better on the video side, and then they'd probably be pretty even on the stills end. Now, we don't know this until we get a 70D in our hands, and I will test that out when I get to Allen's, when I can do an unboxing and sniff test as soon as it comes in. You're going to see a lot of people comparing it to the D7100. There's pros and cons to both. Whichever one is going to fit in your hands best is probably the best solution for you. I'm not going to sit here and say you have to buy Nikon, you have to buy Canon. Try them out. We don't know how the Canon's going to be in low light situations. It's a totally new sensor, and we're going to see how that happens. I'm a big fan of low light situations and shooting, so we're going to see how the camera acts in low light, and obviously let you know what we think. So really, the 70D seems like a really, really good solution at $1,200. You can get a battery grip. Again, I put good glass on it. I'm very interested to see how it works. I'm really liking the feel and the function of these Canons. The 1DX, I've loved it, but this is all about the 70D. So if you're into it, by all means, check it out. Allen's is going to have them, and that is really it. So thank you guys for watching the preview of the 70D from Canon. I hope to have a full-on review when I get one of those bad boys in my hands. If you like the I Shoot Raw shirts that I am wearing, you can get the one in Canon Red or multiple other colors and designs that we have. Check out store.fronosphoto.com. You can pick one up for yourself or pick 2. Maybe give a gift. There you have it. Jared Polin, fronosphoto.com. See ya.